So when you're setting up for ClassCraft, you can set your students up ahead of time, or you can just have them sign up. I usually have a day where we just sign up for a couple of different things, Schoologies, ClassCraft, other things. So I just have them sign up in class. But you can plug in their names and then have this little piece of paper that I just printed off and gave to you guys, and it tells them exactly how to go, like where to go to sign up. It gives them a code they have to enter once, and then once it's entered, they don't have to enter it again, so it's not something they have to remember. And if you do that on yours real quick, you'll be able to see what it's like to go to set up your character.
And also, if you use Google Classroom, which I do, I imported all my students.
That's true. When you go to add students, I put that up here. You can just import from Google Classroom, which is awesome. And then if you have, inevitably you have a kid who moves their schedule and they go from one class to another, you can delete them from one class and then just click on them from the student database on here. And that's pretty easy and straightforward to do. And you can just type in or copy and paste it from an Excel sheet as well. That's what I normally do, because I don't use Google Classroom. Okay, so ClassCraft is a way to gamify your classroom. I try to use not only ClassCraft, but I do a lot of gamifying stuff. Students love games and it gets them excited. I have a shop that they can actually spend their gold that they earn through ClassCraft. They can spend it on real items as well as items on the game, like armor and different clothing materials, things like that. Joel, do you not have your computer?
I do.
You do? Do you mind if I use you as the example up here of how to set up a character? Okay.
Do I need to do something?
You'll choose. First of all, do you want your avatar to be male or female?
Let's go male.
Okay. Do you want it to look A, C, B, or D?
Which one looks more like me?
C.
C looks awfully tan.
I would guess maybe A.
Yeah, there we
Who
go.
has the funky
No, B.
B?
B.
All right. And then, which I don't know why it has you choose the look and then your class, because if you don't choose warrior, then you got to go up and change the look again.
Yeah.
So do you want to be a warrior, a healer, or a mage?
What do you guys think?
Definitely a warrior.
Well, this is how you
Warrior.
decide. This is how you decide. A warrior is the person in the classroom, and usually you have them sit with their group and they discuss it. Who's going to be the warrior? Because the warrior tends to have more discipline issues, and they catch on real quick to what you're saying, because you'll say the warrior is the one who usually loses the most health points.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah,
and then
you have
they'll
the
pick
most
out
health.
amongst themselves who.
Well, I would
warrior.
match the warrior.
So you would be a warrior. The warrior is not, and it doesn't always have to be a behavior thing, because they can use protect and protect other people, so they have more health points, so they can maybe take the damage for someone else if someone else is goofing off or whatever. So
it's kind of
and
nice to have one of
that's kind of
each.
also
I think I should be a healer.
a healer. Okay.
That's what I think.
All right. So then we got to
My
change your look.
suiting
So
personality.
which look?
Yeah, you got a different one.
Probably.
Oh, I gotta do it again?
Yeah.
B.
This is one. B. All right. We'll go with B. All right. So then you get to choose a starting power, and I'm just going to choose for you.
Sainthood.
Heal 1, and they get to pick and look, and you can see what it does over here. So heal 1, you can actually heal another teammate for 10 points. This is how much it costs, and that's how much XP you get. Anytime you use a cooperative power, it helps you to level up. It gives you XP. So like that protect thing, you're going to take damage, but you're also going to get XP. So the students start learning pretty quick that the more cooperative they are, the more successful they are at the game. And some of the powers you get to program, like this one I programmed, to where the healer can bring in a treat for everyone in class to eat, something simple like candies, like usually candy is the easiest one to do for that. I did have a girl bring in cupcakes one time, and I was like, okay, as long as everybody gets one, sure. And then also, since we have the windows here, they can open or close a window if they choose instead. So we're gonna have Joel be a healer to heal.
So you're setting this up, but Joel, like if he was a student, he would be doing this on
Yeah,
his
so
computer?
if Joel was a student, he would see that. I love it when it kicks me off. Heck on it. And it stopped my recording.
Oh, it did?
It did.
That's all right, just pick it up
Yeah.
and make sure to save that one though.
Yeah. I'm gonna save that one. I just minimized it. Minimized.
You want to go all the way to the bottom
Save.
and hit accept.
I'll put 1 for part 1, so they're at least in order. Didn't check before. Hopefully that's still going.
You gotta click. Just click anywhere on your screen to start recording.
Yeah, where's my window? Ah, there. I'm silly. Okay, so did I set up the wrong character? Oh no, I didn't.
I'm a healer.
Okay, you're a healer. So the other 3 want to go in real quick and set up their character. If you want to see, kind of zoom in on your student code up there a little bit. It's on your paper too. So go ahead and set up your character real quick.
I'm gonna have to go here pretty soon. I went through and did all this at the beginning of or the end of the summer. And I was thinking about doing it, but like, how do you like run it during class? It was my overall arching thing was that I didn't want this to be a distraction to other things.
It's usually more of a background thing or something like like how it's run in classes. I give rewards through that. I'll be like, okay, your group, you just got 20 XP, and I write it down and I do it later.
That
So-
and I also didn't want to like do these battle things.
The battle's a review game, so
I
it's
know,
like an option.
I know. But
If you don't have, if you don't want to, if you don't have to, you don't have to if you don't want. And then so you can set up teams and stuff. Which if you're not going to do the review game, then teams might be kind of. If you sit in groups, then you can do it that way too. So that way, like I'll say, okay, your group, you're too loud. You all take 5 damage. Something simple
You
like
write
that.
this down and then you do it later.
Yeah, well, either that or I usually leave one open on, like this tab open, and when they first come in, just change to their class. And it's real easy, so like it could be like, okay, Joel, you're talking too much. And I just push that and say, talking too loud, take damage. And so you just immediately took damage. And if your computer was open, you'd see that immediately as well.
Like you have to be open to the classroom screen.
Yeah, so I can do stuff to ClassCraft without them having it open. It just automatically does it, which is kind of nice. And so with rewards, same thing. Okay, the next day, Joel, you came in and let's say you scored an A on an assignment. So you got 25 gold. Whatever it was, I just clicked. And there's a neat little feed up here. They can click and see what happened so far and like who's gotten what. So it's kind of like a little game feed.
How did she get 490 out?
Because she came last week, super early. So, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to give everyone a bunch of XP and a bunch of gold so you can actually play around and see what the customization stuff's like. Because one thing that I don't like on this, I went ahead and made my own student account. So if I show you one of my actual classes, because I was getting tired of them asking me, how do I find this or how do I do this, and not having an answer to that question. So I made myself a character and just named it Hero Z, so it'll be at the very bottom. So that's my character there, and I fiddled around with it and just awarded myself a whole bunch of XP and all that stuff. And I moved this character around to different groups and teams, and it still takes damage and everything. I always tell them, it's like, don't let me die. I think it's cute. They get a kick out of it. Like, you guys, I just took damage because of that.
Someone want to kill the teacher.
No. Well, and when you die, when your character dies, something bad happens. I always give them an option. It goes to the Book of Laments. Let's go back to our class.
Make somebody fall. Make Joel fall and die.
Let's make.
Picking on Joel.
No. Let's see. Your character's made. They're not set up yet, so I can't
just
pick
kill me
them.
off now.
I'm gonna. All right, so Joel's had a really bad day, and for whatever reason, he lost all of his hit points. So it'll bring this up. Wow, that's a little more epic than it was last year.
I like it. It gets their attention.
Yes, and that's changed. So sometimes you have healers and other characters with abilities to hopefully save you from falling. But if you do fall in battle, the Book of Laments gives you a random sentence.
We're going to recite a poem or song for the class.
And you get to write these if you want. So this is a random one. And what I always do, especially if you've got a kid who's like, got stage anxiety or something like that, I always give them a second option. Right now, my standing second option is a 20-minute after-school detention. I tell them it's off the books. It doesn't go on their permanent record or anything. They don't know that. But because I say that, and they're always like, it's so fun, you can visibly see them relax. I'm like, you guys know there's not such butter. And so I move on. But they visibly relax, and they're like, okay. And it's like, now, if you don't show up to that, though, I do have to write a referral for skipping a detention, and then there's a paper trail and all that. And she's like, they're like, okay. Which, that's true. And there's a paper trail for that. So, yeah. I really, and then just let's do the recording again.
I got you off topic too. So.
That's
splicing things together.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I'm not sure if because I created a teacher account, like I'm not seeing your class for some reason.
Yeah, I think you have to sign up as a student for that one. So you can set up another
I have to
account.
use a different email.
Yeah, just use like your personal email or
All right.
a made up email.
And these guys are on create options for your team. You can go ahead and pick a team.
Won't let me.
Oh,
So yeah, just
Let
push
your
next.
teacher
That's what I
Yeah,
did,
just push
Okay.
next because it programs it for you.
Okay. Because I did that for the students. I put their teams in for them.
Yeah.
Now, because I've already created this on my own school email, can I not do this for my own team now?
For your students.
Yes.
So if you signed up a
Delete.
student account with that email, yeah, you're gonna have to use a different email for your
Or
teacher
delete it.
account. Or delete it.
maybe.
I don't know how to delete it. I've never tried to
Delete I think you can delete the program, I think.
Or delete the email, like go into your settings and maybe just delete the email and put whatever off-brand email you want to put in there. Just change it that way.
I'm sure there's a way to deactivate the account.
Yeah, I think there is. I think I saw it the other day when I was looking
All
around.
right, so I give them an option. They can do what this says, or they can do the detention. Now, something also that happens, another reason you want to keep each other alive, is when one of your group mates fall in battle, everybody in the team takes damage.
Mm-hmm.
So because Joel fell, you just took 5 damage. And I actually last year did have a chain reaction that set off where I had 3 people die.
Because they were so close.
Yeah, because they were close, and it was just like bam, 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 and so they were like, so it eventually killed off the whole little group, except for the person who was absent that day, and they came back to like, wow, it was a good day to be absent.
Yeah. And you feel sorry, and I think, oh, that's so unfair, but at the same time, if you are low enough that 5 points makes you fall,
Yeah,
then
you were already on the
problems
cusp
anyway.
anyway.
So, yeah. And I think I set mine at 3. I think my kids only lose 3 because you can you can go in and change those.
Oh, okay, I didn't even know you
So,
could change that. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And something else that's kind of fun, the kids love, it's an interesting bell ringer type activity, is to do a daily event. I actually only do these about 2 or 3 times a week. I don't do it every day.
I don't either.
Sometimes I'll have students ask about it during the bell ringer time, and I'm like, all right, we'll do one. I mean, because you just put it up here, they don't have to, they can do it, like you can do this during bell ringer time. So it does a random event.
And you can create all these yourself too.
Yeah, you can create all of them or use a lot of the ones I use a lot of theirs, and then I've created some as well. So
Just
this
random
one's-
events that happen and affect the game.
Yeah, and then they
Some are
take place
good,
in the game.
some
Some
are
are
not
good,
good.
some are bad. This one is one player chosen by their teammate on each team gets 100 XP. So it's a nice little
I've had
bonus.
that today. My rule is they cannot vote for themselves
Oh, nice.
because
So
they
there you
each
go.
want to choose themselves
Right.
this year for some reason. Last year they didn't.
Interesting.
And
That's a
so
good-
they
but that-
finally
yeah.
picked the person who
That's a
was
good
going to get
rule
the
where you can't
points.
choose yourself.
Can you tie everybody's classes together? Like, if we wanted to do it like,
You can do what's called multi-classing, which is they link them together and then they have one character,
right,
and that character, it'll take, like instead of with my class, it takes 1,000 points to level up. if you're multi-class to another class, then your character is going to be double that because you're getting XP from her and from me. So it'll take you 2,000 to level up beforehand, or before you actually level up. And we tried that last year, and it was kind of a pain. It didn't seem to work as well, and so we've actually just been having them create 2 accounts, which unfortunately is, you have to do a whole new account. You can't just make a new character. ClassCraft needs to step up and make it to where they can make.
So they have to have 2 emails?
Yes. It's a pain so far with that part.
But fortunately, this year we don't teach the same grades. Last year we taught some 8th graders together, and we had kids with double accounts, which was kind of tricky, but.
Yeah. And then this year, apparently Kaylee South is also doing this. And so even though I wasn't multi-class with her, some of my students are linked to hers when they first signed up. And then they just made a new account and everything, but now it's not letting me change the hit points and action points, which normally it lets you change and set how you want. And I don't like how now it won't let me change those on half of mine, so I'm stuck with what they give, and I don't like that. That's kind of making me a little flustered. But you can change where the level cap is, how much hit points they regain overnight. If you want to just max it out so where they get everything back every night, I don't think I would want to do that. So I just have 10, and then the action points, they gain 5 back every night. That way they're with their powers, they can't go and use their powers every single day. Because some of my powers are like, you can maybe leave class a minute early, or be a minute late without being tardy. So, I mean, some simple things like that, but something, there's a limit on how many times they can do it.
Yeah, like maybe the way you almost have to like plan it in there so that they can use it maybe once every other week.
Yeah.
So they're using it enough that they're excited about it,
Right.
but they're not waiting so long that they don't care, and so
Yeah.
soon that it's not good.
Yeah.
It's like a weighing game. You have to, and they also sign a contract. I don't know if you had to do this at the beginning.
I didn't
didn't this year, but I did last year. But I told them, I said, the rules are I'm the game master, and if I change anything inside the game at any time, you are fine with it. That's the rules. So if I need to say, hey, I'm giving them way too much this or way too much that, and I reset a level a little bit, then they know they have to be okay with it.
Yeah. I'll just when they start complaining on it, I'll be like, look, I mean, we can either do it or we won't. I mean, and usually that will get them to stop.
Yeah, they enjoy it, that's for sure.
Does it seem to be a big distraction during class where you can't get your...
No, I mean, we'll have some, we're going to do a battle today, we're going to do a battle today. No. I mean, they'll ask about it or something, or hey, can I get on my
How hard
character
is
or
it to create a
something?
battle?
Not hard.
No, I think it's just about as easy as Google Forms. Really.
Yeah,
I
and it's
created
just
one, it
this-
was fine. It was easy.
I don't like Forms.
Alright, so here's how
It's
as
you
easy
make a
as-
new one.
I don't know.
Joel, so here's how you do a new battle.
Pie.
Or the
Oh,
game.
hi. I was
You click,
wow.
you name the game,
That's not what I thought you were going for.
you pick the monster, and then you just type in, the monster's AP, say it's got 50. And then you type in your questions, and then you have some options at the end, and you're done. They're actually pretty simple to program. It's like when you add question, you have your choice of, you can type in the question and then have it just be short answer and have the answer down there, or you can have it be multiple choice. So they're real simple. It's
And it plays different than you think a video game, because I was really confused, and this year I used it for the first time. I basically am the only one using the computer during it. I use it all
the
completely
kids
from
mine, they have to have their computers closed during the review game.
They answer a question, I click a button, I tell them if they're right, I give them the points.
Yeah.
Or the
So they don't see
monster.
anything.
They see what's going on the screen. They see the action on the screen.
Here's how a game plays. The teacher.
Just keep in mind, they don't have their computers. They are watching this and giving answers when it's their turn to answer.
Right. So it has a little timer, or it doesn't have timer, the music rather, that kind of urges them on. It has the enemy's hit points up here. It tells you what team, because it'll cycle through all the teams before it'll pick on
How
a
many
team
questions
again.
do you normally?
I usually do 18 questions because I have 6 groups, and that gives each group 3 questions. Now,
They all face the same thing, they just all try to kill it.
They're all trying to kill that
they're
one.
as a class
Yeah, as a
trying to
class.
kill it. So like green gorillas, that's, I think, whoever, okay, all right. So then you would say, okay, what part of the experiment do you measure? And we'll say that she got the answer correct. So, okay, correct. So it did 5 damage to the monster. Sometimes, all day, it has been doing that all daggone day.
There's a setting that you can change. I don't remember what I did.
I just always have to shut all my stuff off and start over.
Even when I do that, though.
I changed something. I can't remember what it was.
Really?
You might know.
Was it Bluetooth? Turning on Bluetooth?
I heard that one.
There's I did something else.
If you remember what it is, yeah, if you remember what it is, please email me because it does all the
Might have
time.
happened like
I've tried restarting this, I've tried restarting that, and nothing seems
Awesome,
to.
I gotta go.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
See you guys all tomorrow.
See ya.
And I think people think it takes up, like Joel was saying, it takes up a lot of time. It's just like,
It really does. It's
instead
more
of
something
saying,
in the background.
yeah, especially if you have the sounds on, if instead of saying, you're in trouble,
Right.
you need to stop talking, you just hit a button and it dings, and all of a sudden the person who's talking knows that they're in trouble. You don't
Yeah.
even have to say anything.
A lot of the times, yeah.
And they know they just lost points.
Yeah,
So
they'll
it's a
hear
way
that noise, be like,
of
oh,
keeping
yeah.
them, this is,
It's funny.
I can sit them in a seat and control their behavior from my computer.
I know.
Hmm.
To a point, I mean, it's pretty.
It's almost that scary.
Yeah,
Really.
it's funny.
I really respond to it.
I always announce anytime, like I'll be like, all right, so you're gonna take damage if you don't, I usually try to give them one warning and be like, all right, that team takes damage, or so you just took damage for, and then I give them the reason why. And
Yeah.
I'm surprised, especially with this year, I don't really have many people arguing with me on that. They're just like, oh,
Yeah.
dang. I mean, they're upset about it. They can be upset about it, but they don't really try to go, well, no, I wasn't. I haven't had nearly as many arguments as I did last year.
Yeah. It's very interesting.
Yeah,
concept
and on
that
the
they
review game, and I
understand.
tell them, taking damage isn't always because you did something wrong. Like with this review game, you can take damage. So like blueberries, if you got that one wrong, your team took damage, and it makes that horrible sound. Oh, I skipped it. All right, so, and then, oh, I forgot Joel was pretty much dead. Okay, Joel died again. Oh, well.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sorry. So I'll need to remember to heal him back up. And then, so the next team gets it correct. There's a thing where you can sometimes miss, even if you get the correct answer, and sometimes you can do double damage, and that works both ways. So sometimes the monster misses you guys, and sometimes the monster does double damage to your team. And that makes it a little bit more exciting because there's that random factor, and the kids love that. And every time that happens, they're like, oh, and they get all upset. They're like, oh no. So, and you just kind of keep going.
And I just say, if you die in battle,
There's a miss.
that has nothing to do with behavior, you're not going to be a detention. It's going to be something else.
Something silly or little, yeah. I can see doing that. Let me quickly go through. I want to get, since I always try to have 18 questions, there's one. Since I always have, I usually use the vocab, but there's never 18 vocab words. So whatever extra I need, I usually do little bonus questions that are only worth 3 hit points instead of 5. And like the kids just eat these up too. That keeps them excited because they're hoping that they're going to get the bonus question. It's about either like movies or books or video games. This one was a video game theme. And you can choose, like if they get the wrong answer on bonus questions, oh, well, it didn't pop up. When it says for them to take damage, you can push the X and not actually give them damage on a bonus question, so they don't take damage from that. But they have a chance to damage the monster. So they really like that. And then at the end, if I can get through these real quick. There you go. Jacob, you should know this one. In which video game did Mario first appear?
Is it Super Mario Brothers?
No, it's pictured there.
Oh, I didn't know that. Huh.
Donkey Kong is where he actually first appeared.
Really?
Interesting.
And we missed. It's like name that and name your birds. Some of them are super simple for bonus questions because it's just something to keep them excited. But I have to admit, they love, especially this year, they absolutely love these little battles. They'll come in every day. I'm like, are we doing a battle today? I'm like, is it Friday? No. Because I try to do one every week. and it reviews the vocab usually.
It's a good idea.
So in class, this is more exciting.
Now this is, the paid version lets you make as many as you want.
Yeah.
The unpaid version, you get one battle, but I also changed it and edited it, so it's really kind of like,
Have as many as you want.
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
Yeah, you
understand,
just
is it gonna
keep
run
doing
out? I mean, I just changed the
No.
questions and played
Yeah,
with
you can
it.
just keep doing that. And I've honestly been doing that myself. I think you're only, is there a max number of questions you can have?
Yes, and you can only have like 8 or 9 questions or
Okay, so
something,
that's
you can't
smaller.
have as many, yeah.
So I try to always have each group have 3 questions that go to them.
Yeah.
So if they don't kill the monster, they don't get a reward. If they do kill the monster, it comes up with a reward that you set. Mine's usually 100 XP and 25 gold. And then you click, like it'll tell them that up there, and as soon as you hit the check mark, it awards it to them all, and you don't have to go in and do it later. There's also a nice little student selector called the Wheel of Destiny.
I use this every day.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite thing, because if I'm calling on students, they know it's not me picking them to read or me picking them to answer a question. I pick a player and it'll spin the wheel, and whoever comes up.
And yeah, you can project this up here, and they know right away. Oh,
And if
and
they get it
shows
wrong,
off their
Yeah.
character, which they get excited about too.
Yeah.
They're like, oh look, my
yeah, their character was like,
here.
"Hey, I look," one person today said, "Hey, I look pretty hot."
And you can also, if you're doing teams, like how I've got mine sitting in groups, you could choose a team if you want. So that shows, wow, why is it off? Oh,
I don't know
yeah,
what it's
it's
like that.
put it down. You're down very small. I don't know why it's so small. What happened? Oops. Or you can have it choose a player. It really likes you, Leah.
Yeah, you get to
And then if like, okay, oh, that student's not here, you can just select that again and it'll pick someone else before, and it'll cycle through everybody before it goes and picks them
Unless you
again.
set it to reset.
Yeah, unless you tell it to reset right here.
Yeah.
So, which is nice, so it could go through everybody and then you can be like, okay, reset. So that's handy. You can also, it has a grade book, but the grade book,
Looks like it's, I have not looked at that this year. It looks like it's all with Google Classroom
I
done.
don't know what that is. That's different than
Yeah.
what I'm used to. It used to be,
Huh.
so how do I import grades? Okay, that's what I'm used to. Okay. So if you've got an assignment or something that they did, like a quiz, they did really well on or whatnot, you can set XP reward. Like how I have it set to where it'll give for every point above 60, it gives 2 XP. So they could get up to 80 XP for the assignment. And for every 1 point under 60, they lose 1 hit point up to 10. I don't let it take more than 10.
Okay.
And then you can just like export your grade book to CSV, is that what it is? Yeah, the Excel sheet, and then just copy and paste, click them and paste them in here. And so let's just say that, I'm just gonna type mine in. You can see right when you're typing it in, how many they're gonna get. There we go. So it shows you the effect right over here. And if this was instead 50, you can see they would miss that. And I've got it to where it caps off at 10. Because in my grade book, I just don't put in scores under 50. If they got scored under 50, they still get a 50. So, or even you can change that into your Excel file or whatever. Because right now, I think the program itself, does it cap on for? Nope. So I cap it through my grade book. So, and then you can just tell it to award points, continue, and then you can do that with multiple assignments at once. Like just do the next assignment then. You can give the class rewards easily as a group. You can do it as teams through up here or individually. So one of the things I wanted to do for you guys who came in, gonna give you like 70,000 or some crazy amount of XP.
They love that.
That's the, yeah, every time they get like, who leveled? I mean, they get so excited when they hear that sound. It's so funny. And then you guys also got a bunch of gold. that way you can explore over on the side here on your screens. They'll have a little armor symbol and a little pet and everything. And you can kind of play around with those and now check out what it's like to customize the character, because the kids absolutely love the customization part of this.
And last year, I don't know if they'll do it this year, but last year at Halloween, they had special costumes the kids could
Yeah.
use. And so some of my kids had these crazy, funky, scary things on their character for a
Oh, that's
while.
funny. I didn't have it at Halloween, but at maybe it was a little before spring break. They had some sort of wintry theme.
Yeah, and then they did have a winter theme come out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
because I had a bunch of kids with these like big
Poofy
poofy
things.
hats. It was like,
Yeah.
and that's stuff they can spend their gold on. There's also a message thing if you don't want to. I do remind, so the kids can message me on here. Hey, Jacob, message me. And there's also, if their parents sign up, parents can message to you through this as well if you want.
There is
So-
also Parent Connect, which I use, and the parents' email, I put their email in there, and the parents will receive a weekly report on what their kids have
Nice.
gotten deducted or added to their account for the week. So
You just had to type
You're
that
gonna
in
have-
yourself.
I just had them fill in a form that was a grade to be returned, and then I used the parents' email, put it in, and then once they got the email, they hit accept in their email, and it connected them to ClassCraft. So they can see.
There's also on this little sheet that you gave.
Yeah, so the parent can sign up, and I give a XP and GP reward if their parent signs up on ClassCraft, just because
Yeah.
I just, it's more parent involvement and
Yeah.
but more.
And I
parent
think that's
involvement
just another
better.
way to do
Yeah.
it, and then the ones that didn't, then I did it a different way.
Yeah.
So I caught more of them.
Yeah.
And their parents can award them gold too.
Yes,
At
that's,
home
it's
for
a nice
things.
little thing, like
Cool.
if I tell them, the parents could like, hey, you did your chores, here's 10 gold. It's a small amount, it won't let them do a whole bunch, and there's a limit on each day, I think it's like 10 gold a day, or something like that. So it's kind of nice, and then they can turn around and use that with gold on their character in here. I sell the little hubs as potions, and I also have them roll the dice, because they're magical potions, they're gonna have some sort of magical effect. So they love that part of it too, it's so funny. I even had one kid want to pay for one so they could roll the dice, but they didn't want to drink the potion. I was like, really? Okay. I mean, he just wanted to roll the dice and see what effect he got from the potion, which was funny. And the effects on those, I usually just say it either adds to your health, adds to your wisdom, which is your XP, adds to your luck, and you find some gold along the side of the road or whatever, so they can get gold, or adds to their action points, gives them a few of those back, or everyone, like if they roll a 1, then they get, they lose like 5 hit points, because it was a poisoned potion, or a bad potion or something. If they roll a 20, they get to pick the effect out of the list. So, it's just kind of, just a little fun side thing.
So do you feel like this would be best for middle school age? Kind of seems
I
like
think
it to
so,
me.
yeah. I could see some of the high schoolers really getting into it, at least some of the ones I had in the past, like the ICP classes, the ones who just don't have a lot of motivation but are big gamers. I could see them liking it, but I don't know if all of the classes would like it at high school level. It might get
Yeah, I could see it as an intervention in a high school.
Yeah.
Like an intervention teacher having a certain group of kids
Yeah.
Phosphorus
that
to the
earn
office,
points
please.
for
Red
homework
phosphorus
or
to the office.
attendance or things like that.
Yeah.
Definitely, but I wouldn't think above 9th
Yeah.
grade, it'd start to lose its.
Yeah, it might start being less cool.
And in the elementary classrooms, what do you guys think about that?
Maybe the upper.
Yeah, maybe upper
It's a little-
elementary.
Yeah. I used Class Dojo for elementary when I was at the elementary, and that really is more kid friendly
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
right.
easier, and they have little characters and they're cute.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure, and you can, in that analytics down here, you can kind of see how people have been doing. Where's the?
Everybody's
yeah,
XP went up.
gold. HP, I like this.
Alright.
Virtual, he died a lot. But yeah, you can, on the handout, you can see like the different types of things I have affected.